Aloha guys, Justin here with yet another episode of Fish and Dive Hawaii, where we give you all the best fishing diving tips here in the Aloha state. And in today's episode we are talking about accuracy when it comes to shooting fish with a spear gun. It's a video that's been requested a lot, so hopefully you guys will learn how to shoot more fish more accurately today, which I try to do every time I go diving. Alright, so stay tuned. So the importance of making accurate shots is pretty obvious, but it also helps with conservation if you guys make bad shots, like you guys have seen in my other videos where I had that uhu rip off. But if you guys place bad shots, that fish is just gonna die somewhere. You're gonna lose it to an eel, shark. I mean, I'm sure it's gonna get consumed, but it's better that you guys take good, accurate shots and just don't even take the shots at all if not. So I'm gonna be giving you guys 5 tips as well as a bonus tip at the end, so make sure you watch the video in full, starting with tip number 1, which is making sure your guys' spear gun is rigged up the proper way. Now I have a couple videos that already shows how to rig your spear gun, making sure the line is all good. And last week's video you guys seen, I showed you guys how to properly load a spear gun, and just with the bands and how to do the bands is going to help you guys make more accurate shots. So you want to make sure that your guys' spear gun is rigged up properly. So tip number 2 is going to be target practicing shooting cans in like shallow water or inside of a pool preferably, because that's the most true conditions. But not a lot of us have the luxury to bring a spear gun to a pool, especially like a public facility or something. But that's a great way to hone in on your guys' accuracy, especially with choosing different types of guns. The third tip is probably the most important one, and that's diving within your comfort zone. What I mean by that is find a healthy diving range. If you guys are new to spearfishing, don't push your guys selves too far. Stay within that 10-15 foot range. Honestly, most of my dives where I shoot a lot of fish is within that 10 to 15 foot range. So once you guys are comfortable with that range, you'll be able to sit on the bottom longer, which makes the fish more comfortable. You're gonna start coming in more opposed to pushing the limit. Diving 20, 30 plus feet, you're gonna be making bad shots that way. So always dive within your comfort zone. And on top of that, you want to make sure you're healthy when you're diving. A few months ago I had a mean sinus infection and I tried to dive prematurely, ended up just snorkeling on the top of the surface with my spear gun. So make sure you guys' sinuses are all good and dive within that healthy range where you know you can sit on the bottom for a little bit of time. So tip number 4 is a little bit more advanced tip than the first 3, and that's finding a healthy range of shooting your fish. This is very important because you guys will know after a few dives, maybe it takes you 5 to 10 dives to do it, but you'll know where you guys shoot fish and where the chances are that you'll land it. You know, when you get to that further range, you guys have a less chance of landing that fish, so you guys want to stay within that healthy range. For me, it's like 8 to 12 feet. I love when fish come within that range. Honestly, when they come in too close, I have a bad habit of missing those shots for some reason, but you want to find that healthy range where you can shoot fish and more often than not land them. And this changes between gun to gun, so make sure you guys are practicing a lot with one gun before switching to another. Some people have the luxury of using 2 guns at the same time and never able to hone in that accuracy. You want to make sure you're good with one gun before you switch to another and practice with that one. Alright, tip number 5. I'm probably gonna get some haters for this one, but I think it's gonna be super beneficial. Probably one of the better tips in this is that you guys want to shoot legal sized fish that are easy to catch. And what I mean by that is like maninis, coles, the smaller fish. Unless you have a big gun like this, you don't want to shoot the small fish, they'll just explode. But the easy to shoot fish, maninis, coles, panonu, table bosses that you know you're gonna land 9 times out of 10. You see the fish, back up a little bit to where that range is, where you'll be shooting the more difficult fish like uhus and stuff, and try to see where you can get the shot placement. Especially if you guys don't have a pool or you guys are shooting in the shallows, which is kind of dangerous. I highly recommend this tip. Alright, so now let's talk about our bonus tip. Now the reason why I made this a bonus tip is because not everybody has a GoPro or something to record them while they're diving. But that's to review your footage after the dive. For instance, a few years ago, I had a Buoy Marlin 105 centimeter carbon gun. It was a really nice gun, but when I took it out diving, I kept missing my shots on pretty easy shots too, pretty close fish. And I reviewed my footage, noticed that when I shot it, the shaft was just going crazy, all kinds of different directions. And I knew right away that my gun was overpowered The bands that came with it was just too strong for the gun, so I got it replaced, and the next week when I went diving, I was able to land some fish. So that's the bonus tip right there. So that's it for today's episode. I hope you guys learned some new tips that you guys can apply in your next dive. Go ahead and shoot some more fish. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Check us out at Team Fish and Dive on Instagram. Shoots, mahalo, see you later. Bye-bye.